Hey, you're live.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Lauren, for setting it up.
My pleasure.
Well, thank you for the invitation. How many wonderful people do we have here?
23 and counting.
23 and counting. I think we're going to have a lot more joining. So we were thinking maybe one more minute.
Okay.
Yes.
Everyone runs on Realtor Standard Time, so we just give them a little bit.
My wonderful daughter was here. She's no longer here.
She said she's going to hop on her laptop.
Yes.
Okay. Who's that with that wonderful accent? Jennifer?
Hi, good morning. Jennifer Scales. I work with Anjali here in Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That must be an exciting group there. That's for sure.
Yes. Anjali and I keep it exciting around here for sure.
We have Jason, we have Joanne, we have Johanna, Detwin, Kathy, Monique, Dalton, Laura, Indira, connecting to audio, Wendy, Alexandria, Geraldine, Jason, Luis, Ania, Samina, and Karina.
Samana.
Beautiful. We love your names. I love Florida. The names here are awesome.
So we've
and we have Peter. That's a good name too, Peter.
And a lot of our agents here are from Florida, but we're seeing some from Chicago, some from San Antonio. So there might be some from different states as well.
Oh, great.
So just letting you know that, but primarily Florida.
Great. Thank you, Jason. So are we ready to get started?
Oh, yes, we are. Absolutely.
Okay, introduce you, Bob. I'm going to be just sharing a little bit about an introduction of yourself and why we invited you as a guest today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. It was our pleasure.
So, thank you for being here.
Inez.
Todd, and I can just tell you a little bit about this man that I am honored to call a friend, a partner, and boss.
No boss. Boss spells backwards is double S-O-B. I don't want to be that.
Oh, that is one I have not heard before.
I am a partner and a servant.
Leader.
Let me ask you all this, and if you're not speaking, please mute so we can keep the.
Yes, please. If everyone could.
What would you like me to deliver today that would be the most impactful for everybody on this call? Give me 3 topics that you think might be really impactful.
Okay, so if I may, Bob, before we get started, could I just shine a little bit of a light on you and tell people, brag a little bit on you?
Sure.
Okay, so Bob has just been doing this for a few years now. He's a bit of a novice. He only got his license at 18. Breaking the record for being the youngest agent to be awarded a real estate license in Maryland. So he's just getting started. So we'll help him along. Bob right now is the #1 luxury agent in all of Keller Williams. And if everyone could please mute, I'm trying to keep everyone muted. Thank you. And is one of the most amazing people to know, because he is truly a leader that leads by example. Not only when you look at him, he looks like he just sits behind that desk in that very spiffy suit of his all day, but trust me, that is the last thing he does. He is out in the trenches all the time. Bob, do you want to tell them what an average weekend with you looks like?
Well, thank you all for being here. And I guess today we're supposed to talk about luxury, right?
Yes.
Okay. So my goal is that I can impart on you maybe 1 to 5 tips that you can learn, but you'll take action on. Please don't be one of these people that comes to a great seminar and you hear some great stuff, you get pumped up and you don't do anything. Hopefully you'll put some of these items to action. First off, I got to ask each and every one of you, are you sure you want to be in the luxury market? What I mean by that is there's some great days and there's some challenging days. It's a lot of work. Paychecks are a lot of times worth it. but it's a ton of work. My words of caution to you, you want to take a lot of notes here. I'm a big note taker. I encourage you to do the same. Number one, I would not forego your business to go for luxury. You can do two simultaneously. One day I may, when I'm older, I may focus just on luxury worldwide. But for right now, I don't do that. I listed yesterday a $850,000 house. And 2 weeks ago, I did a $2 million. And last week I did one for 300,000. So make sure you keep your business steady and don't put all your eggs in the luxury market. So number one. Number two, if you want to be in this business, you got to be prepared to constantly learn and be patient with this business, knowing that a lot of times you may lose your listings because a lot of these people in this market, now this market is a little different than most, a lot of sellers overprice their listings and then you don't sell it and you get fired. Huge opportunity for everybody on this call. Huge opportunity is that the expired market is going to really heat up, and you want to write this down. Expireds are worth it, and aged expireds are even double worth it. Okay? So what makes me different than any of the other leaders in Keller Williams, and there's a lot of really good ones, is that I'm actually in the trenches with you. Anything you've thought about doing, have done, are doing, I've done it. So I'm doing it. I'm failing every day. I'm frustrated every day. I get excited every day. But I have failed more than any of you. So maybe my success might be a little bit better than yours, only because I have failed more. So I'm going to caution you all, if you want to get into luxury, don't do it and disregard the rest of your business. You got to pay your bills. Be patient with it. And I am nothing more than a servant. My entire life, I'm a servant. I wear nice suits. I have a nice car. I am a servant. I serve people. To the level that you serve will be to the level that you achieve your financial goals. So anyway, I like a lot of questions because I like to really hone in on what's important to you rather than just me, share my thoughts. I like to really answer your concern. So Anjali, Jason, if anybody wants to lead with some questions, I think that might be good.
Absolutely. I have a few, and all of you, if you would like to just put your questions into the chat, we will address those as well. Bob, what do you think is the biggest obstacle that prevents agents from succeeding in the luxury market? I know all of us would love to be, but not all of us actually get to succeed in it. What do you think is the biggest obstacle?
Okay, I want everybody to write this down because this is critically important. Luxury market, you deal with a lot of high-end wealthy people. You deal with celebrities. I've helped Kevin Spacey buy a $5.5 million house before he got in trouble. I've sold houses for professional athletes. My comment to each and every one of you is realize that we are all the same. They're not any better than you. I'm not any better. Go out there and don't be intimidated. Go out with confidence. You're going to play this game. You might as well play it to win and play it and have confidence. That's why gaining sales and gaining momentum gives you that confidence. And when you're in front of these people, you can speak with confidence. Now, if you haven't sold an expensive home before, in some markets, luxury is 10, 15, 20 million. Our market, it might be anywhere from 1 to 4 million. It's all the same. You're dealing with just higher end numbers. One thing that you can do, this is worth taking an incredible note. This is, there's other areas that I'm not as strong in. This is one of the areas I'm super strong in. You need to know the market and better be armed with incredible statistics. Okay. You want to have knowledge of other houses that have succeeded and failed and the difference of those homes. You want to become the expert. Number one. Number two, one thing you can start doing today, if you choose to be in the luxury market, this is not just I'll get a listing and pick up a big paycheck. There's no get rich quick schemes in this business. Is one, start nurturing relationships with financial planners, with people that represent athletes, people. If you want to represent people that have money, you got to go where money is. So you want to surround yourself with that crowd. That's why I'm a firm believer, and I can't wait to share this story with you. We have a partner in a Lucido agency in Arizona, Jeffrey Klein. And Jeffrey is a total winner, and he's just like everyone on this call. I don't think Jeffrey sold a house over $1 million in his life. I might be wrong. Jeffrey pursued with passion his a luxury listing that expired. And he didn't even know when he called him that he was a professional Hall of Fame baseball player who used to make 10 or $15 million a year. Jeffrey called, and it took a while to get the listing. Anyway, he got this $8 million listing. Our team, our marketing team, everybody, he gave credit to everybody. And we appreciate the opportunity to participate, but it was really, Jeffrey's persistence. He got this listing. Now, getting a listing, don't spend your money. Don't celebrate too much, because now the work begins. You have to nurture this, and you have to give incredible attention. The higher end clientele, you have less room for error. They expect more service. He nurtured this, I think, for over a year. Didn't lose the listing because the seller saw his passion. He saw his commitment. Jeffrey just settled on a $6.8 million sale in Arizona, all from an expired listing, because he picked up the phone and called. He took action. Jeffrey will tell you he's not a Harvard graduate. He's no better than anybody on this call, but he took action. That's my greatest challenge in this business. We had a reception last night. One of our lenders and our team members were there, and I had a great compliment from one of my team members. And she said, "Bob, you are so committed to our success. That's why I'm on this team." I believe in my team member probably more than they do. I believe each and every one of you could be a luxury expert if you choose to be, if you really focus on doing it. But it's a matter of who takes the most action. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I didn't graduate from some fancy college, but I take massive action. I take more action than most people do in the country. And that's something that you can do. You can control that.
Bob, excuse me, when you say taking action, what does taking action look like to you as it comes to approaching luxury?
Well, it depends, Jason, whether or not you're pursuing business, maintaining business. Let's say one of my passions, I enjoy it. It's my hobby. I call it a hobby, is I like going after expires and for sale by owners. And I would say two quick stories. One, I saw one that was an aged expire. Remember, everybody hits the expireds that are 25 hours old, and they're like bees on honey, and the sellers are swamped and they're just annoyed. The lost souls are the aged expireds. Nobody cares about them. So I saw one in a prominent neighborhood nearby for 1.4 million that expired, and I did some prejudging, which I shouldn't do. It was a Chinese seller, and the agent was a Chinese agent, and I assumed probably I wouldn't get it because they probably want to deal with somebody that speaks their language and so forth. I said, something, forget it. I'm going to take a ride. I'm going to go out there. So I knocked on her door. She came to the door, beautiful smile. The only thing she said hi, I said hi. She didn't speak English. I said, Saturday, 1 o'clock. Saturday, 1 o'clock. I came back Saturday at 1 o'clock. I then learned Google Translate. She would talk into the phone, and then it would translate back to me. I'm like, then I would talk, and it would translate in Chinese. I'm like, this is pretty neat. Then I called I got a Chinese translator come with me for the next meeting. I brought a translator who ironically had known their family. She brought her sister. Long story short, wonderful transaction. The other agent failed. We sold it in 3 weeks, 1.4 million. The commission was about 35,000. Was it worth me knocking on the door and not prejudging and pursuing it? The answer is 100% yes. So that's one of my hobbies, is knocking on doors, targeting which ones. And I've got my elevator speech prepared. I wasn't prepared for that so much. So you have to act quick on your feet. So what did I do? I got the appointment. So I got the appointment to meet her, did translate, then brought a translator into the next meeting.
That's great.
So that worked out beautifully. Second, I hit probably a for sale by owner or expired every day of my life. So I hit this one for sale by owner, 850,000. And I thought the name sounded a little familiar. I thought I played baseball with this guy. Long story short, I called the for sale by owner. Next day, she called me back yesterday. It's a girl that I know her family. Actually, I dated her once in high school. Her husband I played baseball with. They're getting a divorce, unfortunately, and we listed that yesterday for $850,000, all from knocking on the door. So there is tons of business out there. Fsbos, expireds, if you choose to do that. You got to do what's in your comfort level. It's in my comfort level because I believe that I have the greatest strength if I'm in front of somebody. People can't see who you are and how genuine you are through a letter. So
would you be willing to, any scripts you could share, door knocking scripts that might work for some of the people on the call? Because that's amazing, those stories that you mentioned.
Well, the for sale by owner I did, she wasn't home. So I knocked on the door, nobody was there, rang the doorbell, and huge dog came to the door and nobody answered. So they have a for sale sign out front. I left a message and she said, "Hi, this is Mary." I'm thinking, wait, it's too much of a coincidence. Mary married Jeff. So I said, "Hi, Mary, this is Bob Lucido. I noticed your house. You're trying to sell your house yourself. Please give me a call. I'll work together with you and Jeff. I'll maximize your profit. I'll be flexible with my commissions. I'll save you money. Give me a call. It'll be worth your while. Thanks." So she called me back. And I immediately went over and met her. And we wrapped it up yesterday. So
I think it's just keep it simple, right? And get them to come to you.
Yeah, keep it simple. If people haven't answered the doors before, for sale by owners are the cheapest people on the planet. They want to save money. And the better the sign, the longer the entrenchment.
Just tell Fab
Okay.
to create the smart plan, but not
Excuse me, Rich.
to send it out.
Oh, if everyone could just mute themselves, please, that would be awesome. Thank you.
So number one, Fsbos want to save money. So my conversation there, and you have to, by the way, scripts are great, but you got to prepare what's in your heart, what you feel comfortable with. Mine for us sale by owner is, hey, I know you're looking to sell your house. I know you're trying to save commissions. Yeah, we're going to save commissions. I'm like, what I found is other people like yourself have tried to do the same. What I specialize in helping for sale by owners maximize their income and their sales price. It's not your commission, it's how much you net. Are you more interested in a higher net or are you interested in saving commissions? They go, I want a higher net, but I like to save commissions. I can do both. Let me come in and show you my plan. I'm flexible with commissions. I don't say I'll negotiate, I'll discount, that's cheap. I'm flexible with my commission programs. Then when I sit down with them, so the key is that 15-second meeting. Now, when expired, they've endured challenges. They're frustrated, and they're ready to give up. My script there is, I know your house. We sell a lot. We're the leader in the area. I'm surprised, quite frankly, you didn't call me in the beginning, but I'm glad I'm here, and I know I can sell your house in 30 days or less. I'll buy it for cash. Can I come in and talk to you? That's a great, you got to get people with that, I say 17-second elevator speech. I think it's 10 seconds. You got to come out with a profound statement that will make them want to continue to speak with you and to continue the dialogue. So I hit them right, and I get not rude, arrogant, but I get rather confident. Like, hey, look, I applaud you for trying to sell your house. You got a beautiful sign, but you're doing it the wrong way. I'll share with you and I'll get your house sold and net you more money than you'll net. Can we have a conversation? Mm-hmm. People can't get that through an email, a letter, or a voicemail. They get it face to face when they're talking directly like this with you.
Absolutely. Lauren, you have a question.
Yeah, I was just going to add that I think one thing that's important to note is that the area where Bob is door knocking, whether it's expired or Fsbo or luxury, Bob knows the area better than any other agent here in our market. So he's the hyper local expert. So the scripts that he's using, he's incorporating that knowledge of the market. And I think that's something that's extremely important, is make sure you know the market when you're talking to these sellers.
Lauren's never sold a house in her life, but it always never ceases to amaze me how much knowledge she has of sales just by being around this all of her life. And she's 100% right. I encourage people to get hyper-focused, local, and knowledgeable of a certain area. That's why I normally don't list houses outside my area, because when I do that, I don't know the school systems. I don't come off like an expert. they go, yeah, this is a nice high school. I'm like, yeah, it's a nice high school. I don't know which one it is, but I'll go along with what you're saying. I don't come across genuine, but when I sell it in my marketplace, when I'm the expert here, I can tell them the principal's name. Yeah, I went to school there. Yep, these schools don't have the rate. All the high schools are great, even though this doesn't have the rating of some of the top 3. I think this is an awesome school. I know the different streets. Yeah, that street has some new construction, some old houses. So become the local expert in your area. People want to go to an expert. You go to any doctor. I just went to a dermatologist for something on my forehead. I want to go to an expert. Plastic surgeon. I want to go to somebody who's the expert, and I want to take their total confidence. Go with them. And this lady worked with celebrities and had other high-end patients. I'm like, no, it's not mine. I feel good with you.
Mhm.
So people got to have a feel good feeling of who you are. I do that by going face to face.
Gotcha. So first of all, it doesn't matter how much you like. I'm hearing you say, first of all, they have to like you, right? There's got to be that rapport, and then you layer on top of that the market knowledge. Would you say that's
Sure,
way to go?
sure. You look, we've all met those people that are warm, have an incredible smile, enthusiastic, and you just want to be around those people. And then you have those other people that are just breathing, BS, and you're like, I just can't wait to get away from these people. They're not sincere. So you all on this call are sincere, and now I'll encourage you. You do what's comfortable for you. I'm going to Miami in a couple of weeks, and I know my dress code will be different there because they don't wear ties down there and much more relaxed and so forth. When you're going on appointments, I prepare for listing appointments every single day, even if I don't have them. Always want to dress to the T, want to be prepared, have your car looking good. People are going to see an expert. When I get that opportunity to go face to face, I want to be fully prepared. So every day that I go to work, I'll wear a suit, and people go, Bobby, I don't think you have any listing appointments. I'm like, no, but I'm planning on having a couple. Called positive self-expectancy. I expect a listing appointment every single day.
It's all
And if I
about
don't have one,
mindset.
and if I don't have one, I'm going to get one.
I do have a question. What does it look like for you to be prepared for a listing presentation and appointment?
Well, who answered that?
Christina Mosquera in Miami, Coral Gables.
Christina. Okay, Christina, great question. First off, I have an awesome support staff. I've got a marketing team, which we've got Tracy and I have 3 assistants that work together with us. Shaz's job, she prepares. All I need to do is give her an address. I'm giving her one tonight. I've got a 5 o'clock appointment. She doesn't even know about yet. And she'll pull the tax record, all the comps, and she does 2 layers of comps. She does the neighborhood, which is hyper-focused. Then she does 1 to 3 miles out. So all of the listings, all of the comps, I will have fully prepared. I also will grab some brochures of other successful sales we've had in that area. Then I'll also have some brochures. Back in my trunk is really the marketing department. I've got brochures, I've got everything there. Based on the house, if I think that the house needs work, I've got success stories of houses where we've done work, or I'll bring other success stories of other luxury homes. It depends. This house tonight, I think, is going to be about 900,000. So I've got a lot of brochures in the comps, brochures in the trunk. So fully prepared with comparables, tax record, everything. I'll try to get to the listing earlier. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go from listing to listing. So I'd like to drive around the immediate area just to see some houses. I went on one the other night. Today's Wednesday? Yeah, went on one Monday night, and drove around a couple minutes early. Felt good being early, by the way, and saw a house for sale there, and saw that it was only a 2-car garage. This was a 3-car, and it wasn't as good a shape. So you want to be the knowledgeable expert there. And by the way, it was $1 million listing, and I'm not real familiar with that area, which goes against my grain. But it was $1 million listing, and they called me personally. So you want to try to get as knowledgeable as possible. Maybe bring some success stories that your team or somebody else had in the area, because people want to go with people that they feel comfortable with and that they are knowledgeable. But being super prepared is critically important.
Great point. Great point.
Hi, good morning. I have a question.
Sure.
Hi, Bob. How are you? It's Monique.
Hey, Monique.
So, question, when you get these listings, do you put a lockbox or a Supra, or do you always show your clients in person?
Okay, all of our listings, and we have lock boxes that go on these houses. However, for certain high-end clients, like I got a $2 million listing right now that I'm working, we just have that on lockbox, but you've got to give more attention. Like I call before and after the showing, let them know they want more feedback. In fact, on higher end listings, word to the wise, you want to write this down. You would be smart to call the seller after every showing. I call every seller every week, but on luxury, they want to call like after you've left the driveway. So I try not to show, like I don't want to show all my houses, but there's certain houses, I've got 2 right now that I've got to be there. One, I promised it. That was one of the compelling features of hiring me over somebody else, that I'm there. And number 2, there's one house that I just know inside and out. And it's got incredible details. You can't just have an agent go in there and show it and just give them a sheet and say, this is what the house has. That's not what the high-end clientele wants. They want more. And then these people were referrals from another client we sold a $3 million house for. So you get great referrals, but they expect a higher level of service. So luxury, after every showing, you want to be really prepared. Call the sellers after the showing, give them an update, let them know what's going on, and give them incredible feedback.
Great advice.
I have a question. If you get a listing that is a high-end home, then how do you market it, or how do you reach people that are in the luxury market?
I'm gonna have Lauren jump in here a second, but first off, I want to share this with you. Every opportunity you get, and by the way, we never solicit anybody else's business, but every opportunity you get to engage people is an opportunity to get a listing or a buyer. I've had several people that I show expensive houses to with their agent who have called me and said, Bob, I appreciate what you did, and we'd like to engage you and release our agent. I didn't solicit, but if they call us, you can engage them. So you want to be on your game. You want to show up looking like a professional. You want to do everything to a T. And then they'll see that you're not, that you're ahead of the competitor and that you should be representing. How do you, on the marketing, I'll let Lauren jump in here. First off, I'll just say this. You doing a physical assessment of the property and being upfront with the seller about what maybe needs to be done or not done is critically important, because a lot of times we don't want to tell those rich people, this is what you have to do, because of fear of you're going to lose the listing. You have to take control and let them know that we're going to always be painfully honest with you. I'm going to help you. And the 2 things to get your house sold quickly is, number 1, price it right, and 2, make it look great. I'm going to give you these ideas. Our staging team's going to come in and give you tips. I've got contractors who can help you do whatever repairs, but you can have all the marketing in the world. If you're overpriced and don't look good, you're not going to sell the house. So we're going to start first with what I'm going to do for you. Lee Iacocca back in the 80s used to be chairman and president of Chrysler, biggest turnaround in corporate history. His whole marketing brand was on a commercial, and he stood in front of the Chrysler and said, look, these other car companies, manufacturers are good companies, but I'm the only one that stands in front of my product, in front of my cars. He was standing in front, doing the commercial, saying, every car's got my name on it. I'm going to take care of it. And you got that assurance from Lee Iacocca, and he became a nationwide hero. If you want to Google him, it's a pretty incredible success stories of, he created the Mustang for Ford and then came over and took over Chrysler, made the biggest turnaround in corporate history. It was all about standing in front of him being the leader. You're going to be the leader on these luxury homes. You're going to deliver incredible service that they're not going to get elsewhere. And this is where I outsell a lot of the competitors who are actually pretty good in the luxury world. Let them find out the pain points of where they were before in their expired listing. What didn't they like about their agent? Or find out what's most important to them. I've told people this before. Probably the best sales question I've ever had in my life is Tony Robbins said this at a seminar. You want to write this down. If I'm listing Kathy's house here, Kathy Heshmet, San Antonio. Kathy, if you're my seller, I'm not going to sit there and say how great we are. I'm going to say, Kathy, You're selling a $5 million house. You deserve incredible, impeccable service. What if you had to paint a picture of the perfect relationship between you and your realtor and this real estate transaction? Tell me what that looks like. As you start to explain what's important to you, I'm going to sell into your vision. I'm not going to tell you how great I am. I'm going to respond to everything that you just said that you love. So the script is, if you had to paint a picture of the perfect sales presentation from a realtor or perfect representation, tell me what that looks like and sell into that vision. Lauren, would you share just some of the things we do marketing wise that gives us a competitive advantage over our competition?
Sure. I think one of the things, whether it's a luxury property or not, so we always talk about our success stories and domino them. So just sold postcards. We do mailers. For luxury properties, we do slightly different versions. I'm actually working on one right now. This is not necessarily a luxury property, but Bob listed it at 800,000 and it sold for 975. So we're sending out a postcard, not just saying that we sold it, but telling the story about it. And this is going out to a neighborhood, one of the neighborhoods that Bob farms a lot, and he also door knocks. Bob also does open houses at his listings, and we have a whole strategy. It's actually a trademarked strategy that we utilize. So Bob is physically there. People are seeing him in person. And that's something I think a lot of sellers appreciate, that Bob himself, he's actually there doing the open house. He's the one contacting them afterwards. Let's see what else.
Lauren, we're super focused right now on tons of video. You want to touch on that's critically important, whether it be of the house, whether it be of you. What I do a lot is I ask for testimonials. I'll be at a listing and I'll call a successful high-end customer. If you tell them, they may believe you. If somebody else tells you, they'll definitely believe. Mm-hmm. So video is a very believable marketing tool. Go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, I was just going to say, leveraging your past sellers and their success stories and using them as raving fans to help you get the next listing. I know Bob's gotten referrals from one seller in a neighborhood who referred their neighbor to sell with them. So I think that the level of, so it's not just how quickly you sell it or how much over asking or whatever, but it's the level of customer service throughout the transaction. And again, that's whether it's a luxury property or not, just delivering high service, making it a first class experience and making it an experience, not a transaction, because at the end of the day, that's what everyone wants. This business is about relationships. It's not transactions, it's relationships.
If you want to get in the luxury business, get your first one. You want to be an expert in investment properties, get your first one, and then domino from there. I never set out to be the luxury expert in the world for Keller Williams. It just kind of snowballed. Cal Ripken, we sold his house. He referred us to Mark Teixeira in Texas. So wealthy people and ball players know other wealthy people. Our team did one for one football player, and we ended up doing like 8 or 9 Ravens, all from social media and all from the domino effect of being referred to other people in the team. So best way to be an expert, and we were all rookies at one time, is get started with your first one, then snowball from there, and all of a sudden you own the market and you are considered the expert in that area. What are the questions? I want to hit home. I want to make sure everybody's totally focused, passion for this call, because I want you to walk away with some really good information today. Fire away with some more questions.
Hey, Bob, this is Jennifer, and I've been monitoring the chats for us. There was a couple questions back when you were talking about the listing, and you mentioned that you would pay cash for the home, and people wanted to understand what that meant and a little bit more about that.
Okay, I'm going to encourage you. First off, we have a guaranteed sales program. It's not very popular today because the market's too good. But when the market slows down, it is a game changer and gets us a lot of business. You create your own rules for your guaranteed sales program. This is my guaranteed sales program. And it is a real program. So you better have the money to back it up or the availability to buy a home. Okay, Jennifer, I list your house. Your house is listed at 500. We agree it's worth 500. You want a guarantee, say, I want a guaranteed sale. Jennifer, I'm going to write a contract with you right now. And here's how my program works. We're going to sell your house in 30 days, priced at 500,000. If we don't, on the 31st day, it drops 4% to 480.
Are you okay to show it today at 5 o'clock?
Days 31 through 60, it's at 480. It doesn't sell. 61st day, it drops another 20 to 460. 61 through 90, it doesn't sell, drops to 440. Doesn't sell at the end of 120 days. It's a 4-month program. I buy it for cash for 440. You still pay commissions, and I buy your house. They go, you go, Bob, that's way too low. I'm like, Jennifer, I know it is. I'm never going to buy your house, most likely. And I'll tell you a secret, I've guaranteed several. I've never had to buy one. Because we do our job and we sell our houses. But if you need to be non-contingent for your next purchase, if you want to get leverage in the marketplace, in fact, I was exercising yesterday, I saw something on TV I think is pretty incredible, and we might be considering doing something like it. There's a company out there who's now doing buying cash for first-time buyers, so they can win the bid, and then the first-time buyer gets a loan and pays them back. It's about having leverage, and we have a guaranteed sales program. So people moving into senior housing or new home communities or need a guaranteed sale. I write a contract with it. I go, here's my contract. I'm buying your house for 440. Now I've been close, and I was sweating because I really don't want to buy the houses, but we've done our job and we didn't have to buy any. Now my rules are I won't guarantee anything under 150 and I won't guarantee anything over 800. Those are my rules. You can create your own rules. It's your program, but I have it in writing. It's a real program. There's no bait and switch. It's all for real. But it's a powerful tool for getting calls. And when I'm speaking to people saying, hey, does your competitor, my competitor have a guaranteed sales program? Now you can also do a guaranteed sales program this way. You could say, let me see here. You could say, Laura, you're the seller. I know you're frustrated, Laura. You're a for sale owner, you're expired, whoever you are. I love people that put their money where their mouth is. By the way, that's a great phrase that I've used. People love that. Here's what I'm going to do for you, Laura. You're concerned about commissions, and I would be too if somebody didn't deliver, but I know I'm going to deliver. In fact, if I don't get X price, or if I don't sell your house in 15 days, I'll drop my commission X. And you come up with whatever numbers you want that makes sense, but I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So it's a guaranteed sale, or now you could actually get so bold as this. I'll sell your house in 30 days or less. I won't, or you don't pay a commission. Asterisk, no listing commission. Of course, if there's a co-op commission, you know that. But you can phrase it anyway, so you don't have to buy the house. It could be a guarantee I'm going to sell it, or I'm going to give you back half the commission. Or I'll only charge you $1,000 to cover my costs. I'm so confident I'm going to do the job. Bob, the price is this. I'm going to sell for over that. If I don't, I'll drop my commission. I've put in contracts. If the house is above 500, I get this. If it's below, I get this. If I don't sell it within the 15 days, and then the commission drops. People love it when you put so look, we're tied at the hips. Laura, you and I we're together. You succeed, I succeed. You don't win as much, I don't win as much.
Great.
What are the realtors doing
Bob,
that?
quick question for you, Bob.
Separate yourself from the masses. I'm sorry?
Sorry to interrupt you right there. You'll only do that, I would imagine, if they're pricing it to sell, correct? If they're wanting an over the market price, you wouldn't offer that, correct?
Sure. If they're out of the market, that's a whole nother conversation of how we're going to address that. One big tool that's helped me a great deal. I just took over a house for $925,000. I said, well, based on my comparables, you are only worth about 800. And at that, I think you're too high. We tested it for a week. We didn't get any interest. I said, let me share with you what's been helpful for me. Here's a list of 5 appraisers. You call them. It's $500 in appraisal. Let them tell you what it's worth. That'll give you an unbiased third party. I will pay for the appraisals. Key, out of my commission. You fire me, we never sell, I don't pay a dime. They just got one appraisal, it's 760. We're getting another, we just dropped the price to 750. I'm expecting 2 offers. So the key is pricing it right. If they don't believe the price, you know something, I agree with you. Your house does seem like it's worth a lot more, but right now the market's not responding. Why don't we get an unbiased third party? Because the house has to get appraised by a banker, bank's appraisal anyway. Let's see what they say. And how much are they? About $500, but I'll pay for it. Great, out of my commission. Do not ever pay for it up front.
Bob, could you address, Mark Benson in Naples, and thank you for doing this. Could you address what you've seen in your market and the areas that you particularly focus on days on market? Because I know in the past you tried to focus on areas that didn't have long days on markets.
So you want me to address days on market?
Yeah, what's happening in your market now, and do you adjust accordingly?
Days on market is the kiss of death. And in a lot of markets, if you don't sell it in a week, people wonder what's wrong with your house. So DOM is the kiss of death. Now, it used to be if your house didn't sell in 30 days, we do an analysis and modify your price. Today, it's 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. If you're not getting an offer, then we need to make a price improvement. So DOM, days on market, is critical. So everybody on this call could be the expert. When you go on a listing, you could talk about the days on market in your price range. Like if I'm trying to list your $1 million house, hey, 17, whatever the stats are, these houses are been on the market for 117 days. What I found is at 117 days, they've had 2 price reductions. My strategy is to price it right from the beginning, create urgency, and get prices to go higher. Our Lucido agency, we have a trademark program, and I will go speak to anybody in the country on this. I don't care what expert they are. I will tell you this, that the pricing strategy that always wins the best is pricing it right, driving traffic, and getting competing offers to go higher. The people that want to price high and we can negotiate and come down are fools. They don't know what they're doing, and they need you to be the expert. I used to own a market research company. Pricing it right. I'll give you a secret here, everybody. A rookie who just got their license and doesn't know what they're doing could sell a $10 million house if it's priced right. But all of us together, if we co-listed a property together, we're experts on this call here. If it's overpriced, we'll never sell. So if you can get a house priced right, you're 3/4 of the way home. That's critically important. If you use the appraisal technique, you'll come out better and you'll lose less listings.
Great advice. Great advice. Any other questions for
Love
Bob?
it. Bob, there was another question that came up that said, if an agent wants to close their first $1 million plus deal in the next 12 months, what, as an expert, would you recommend that what are the next steps that they should take, the immediate steps?
I'm looking at some of the questions in the chat room here, so make sure I'm responding. Okay, luxury listings. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right, repeat your question. I just was taking a look at the chat room, make sure I was responding to people's questions. I'm sorry,
Sure.
Anjali, what was your question again?
No worries. If an agent wants, someone who's just starting out, if they want to work towards closing their next $1 million deal or their first $1 million deal, what would you recommend is the immediate steps that they should take?
Great question. First off, have your mindset right. Don't be intimidated by these people. They're not better than you. In fact, they're not as knowledgeable as you are. They think they know it, but they really don't. But they're the customer, so you have to work around it. Number one. Number two, be knowledgeable of the area. Know that you got to talk the lingo, the language of real estate. What is going to be appealing to them? If the roles are reversed, what would you want to hear? Number three, you have to go where the market is. I can't do first-time buyer seminars and get luxury listings. I need to go where the market is. How am I going to do that? Everyone on this call, you could do a open house at a luxury listing. Your chance to be on stage. You better dress right. You better look great. You better do some pre-marketing in the neighborhood, you want to come across as the incredible expert in that neighborhood. When you, number 4, you don't really see a whole lot of for sale by owners for the luxury, but you see a lot of expireds. Go after the expired listing. You're going after people that have failed. Anjali, you're my seller. Hi, Anjali. I noticed your house just came off the market after being on there for 279 days. I'm sorry your last realtor was failed you. I saw a lot of houses in this area. In fact, we're the leaders in this marketplace. And I'm confident that we're going to sell your house, or quite frankly, I'll buy it for cash, or I'll reduce my commission, or I got to figure out what the feel of the conversation or what the price range is. But I'm sorry your last realtor failed you. We dominate this marketplace. I know I'll sell this house. Can I come in and take a look with you? Control the conversation with questions, appear as the expert, let them know that you're different. Just by you being there is different. I showed up at one expired and I was a basket full of cards. And I said, what's that for? They said, that's where your card would have been had I not pulled in the driveway and seen you. I saw her in the driveway and she said, can I help you? I said, yeah, I noticed you just failed. I'd love to come talk to you about what I can do. I know I could get your house sold since we dominate the marketplace. Can we go in now? Or you come back tomorrow morning? She, come on in now. We can talk. So I sat there. She said, well, this sounds compelling. Came back the next day, signed the paperwork. They're not all like this, everybody. I mean, I get failures too. Some people say no. And I've only had one door slam on me. And it was a luxury person, by the way. I opened the door. I go, hi, I'm Bob Lucido. I'm sorry your last realtor. She said, oh my gosh. And she shut the door. I think she got like 10 people contact her that day or something. And I was the 11th. So I was the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back, and it didn't bother me. I'm there coming from my mindset as I'm helping you. You have failed. I haven't failed. You have failed. I'm going to help you not fail, because the longer you're still in the market, you're losing money. Politely, you need me. I don't need you. I want you.
Great nuance right there. You have failed, not me, Mr. or Mrs. Seller. You did. I want to help you. That evens the playing field, doesn't it?
You're coming from contribution.
Come from contribution. And as you always teach us, belly to belly is the best way to get the business done.
Yep. Yep. That's for those of you that haven't seen for those of you who have, forgive me, because you've seen it over and over again, but I'll do it again. In fact, at a reception last night, Dawn, one of our team members, said the best seminar I ever said was a guy named Tom Hopkins. I'm like, that was my first seminar. And I was 18 years old. And at the end of the seminar, some guy came up and said to Tom, you wasted all of our time. The room was dead quiet. He said, we could have had this done in 10 minutes. We didn't just sit here for 8 hours. You wasted our time, Tom. Everybody's like, is this guy going to start a fight? What's the matter with him? He's being pretty disrespectful. He drew this on the board, and for 3,000 to 5,000 people, there was total quiet. He said, Tom, this is the key to success. And that's all you need to know. And I was 18 years old. I was trying to figure out what the heck is this guy talking about? He said, Tom, the key is all the tools and techniques you taught today. Google Tom Hopkins, by the way. He was the nation's top trainer at one time. He said, that's all good. But unless you go belly to belly, face to face, those are belly buttons. This is the key to success right here. That was ingrained in my mind 45 years ago, and it's never changed. It's made me a multimillionaire by doing this. And I don't say that bragging. I say that in a way to help you out. I'm here to serve you and help you. You do this, I'll help you make millions. You don't do this, we can still be friends. But you won't achieve the success you're looking for. You can hide behind a text, you can leave a voicemail, you can send a bunch of letters, and all of that's good. But I believe that the more you go belly to belly, face to face, you increase your odds of success. And when you do go belly to belly, you better be prepared. You better look good. You better have your stats. You better be enthusiastic. And you better do what Jeffrey Klein did, which he was passionate. He was sincere, and people can see through that. They can see through if you're not sincere. They can see your sincerity. He was sincere. The seller loved him. In fact, the seller did a video, and I'm going to ask Pat, our awesome videographer in the company, to send everybody on here, or Anjali will get you the link. You've got to take a look at the video and hear what the client says about Jeffrey Klein. Jeffrey is like any one of you here. He didn't sell over $1 million listing, I believe. He called and expired. He had 50% confidence, but his sincerity won it. Now I want to ask everybody on this call a question. You just answer yourself. If I was to call into the office now, or if you're doing your lead generation now, you reach a client, they go, you know something, I'm ready to meet right now. Are you prepared to go in the next 2 hours? Yes. Are you physically dressed? Are you mentally prepared? Do you have the mindset of a winner? And do you know what you need to do to be prepared? Gather your stats, gather your marketing material. Be prepared for that listing opportunity, because you're going to get it. You're going to get it the more you implement these activities. Somebody asked me once, Bob, what is the best lead generation technique? And by the way, we believe at our company, we have the best lead generation programs on the planet right now. Our team's put them together, thanks in part to Lauren. She helped recreate the program by massively taking time away from marketing last year and spending a ton of time in fielding calls and listening to people and going through our database. And Robert and Sean and Jack, everybody that they worked on creating, we've created a world-class ISA program that is, we're generating tons of leads, and we're going to do it in all of our expansion locations too. So the best is yet to come, but our people better be prepared. So we're now monitoring our agents' closure ratios. We're really doing it right now. People that we're sending on leads, we know who's closing, because if you're not closing, we love you, but we're not giving you more leads.
Can you talk about mindset? Your mindset is so strong. What do you put into your mind to keep it so strong? Any books, podcasts, anything like that you can recommend?
Everybody's got their own thing. I would just say a couple things. One, the people you hang around with, I won't let people bring me down. I don't let negativity into my life. Be careful who you hang around with. I love inspiring success stories, and one of our title companies, Michael Rutter, is an amazing success story, and inspiring to hear him. So that being around people like that inspire me to do more. Number one. Number two, make sure you have your vision board and your goals in front of you. I have a very, very clear vision of what I want to do, and so when I have an obstacle, it's just short term, because I'm looking at the prize. I'm not looking at the obstacle. Three, I do a series of readings every morning. You do what's important to you. I read some motivational books. I have some daily quotes. I read Og Mandino's the 10 greatest. It's on a piece of paper I've had for 35 years. I read it every morning. The 10 greatest rules. It's Og Mandino's the greatest salesman in the world, and it's got the 10. In fact, I'm going to give you all a copy of it. You'll see it, how I wrote it in 1985. But I read these. Read a page of the Bible every day. I have my own thing. I'm also finishing up the book. Never negotiate.
Never split the difference.
Never split the difference. I'm finishing up that book. I'm also reading a book on Ryan Serhant, reading Big Money Energy. And so I try to read a page or two a day, because when I try to read 100 pages, that might get put off for a month. But I found that if I could take a bite of the elephant every day, I accomplish my goal. So I fill myself with that positive stuff, and I feel good about what I'm doing. I also don't touch a piece of paper after 9 o'clock in the morning. My calendar is booked today with appointments, and that's how I feel best. If ever I get down, it's that I don't have enough appointments. Show me your calendar, and I'll tell you how much money you're going to make. It's all about your appointments, everybody. Everybody on this call, I don't care how young you are, old you are, whatever you are, your color, rate, anything, none of that means anything to me. It's all about your heart and your drive, how much drive you have. There's so many people, my kids are so much smarter than me, and they know it. They went to fancy schools and they have great degrees and they're smart. But I told them at a young age that if you can have a great degree and have drive, then you're a total winner. If you have a great degree and you have no passion or drive, you're not going to succeed. So on their own, they're all very highly driven, and very proud of each and every one of them for what they've accomplished. And I used to coach kids in baseball. I remember a parent came up to me when I was coaching my son, Robert. They said, would you make my son as motivated as your two sons, Robert and Jonathan? They were both in the field at the same time. I said, no, I can't do that. They said, what do you mean you can't do it? I'm like, I can't motivate somebody. What I can do is create an environment to make them want it. And they got to want it themselves. So when you see kids go out and work out on their own and do what they did, and Lauren trained intensely for tennis, they wanted it. We never pushed them like, you better go to tennis. What are they going to do? They're going to push back. You've got to have it within you. And I am grateful and thankful that I have a vision and family and wife and family members that inspire me. And I have a passion for having fun and doing great in this business by helping people like you succeed. That really gets me excited. Helping other people become multimillionaires is really makes me excited. Help you become successful. My new people, sometimes I get down and I'll go, I'm believing in you. We were all rookies at one time. I was a rookie. I wore some of my outfits when I was 18, 19. You wouldn't believe what I looked like. And long hair, longer than Lawrence. I was a lot different than who I am today. But you know something? People could tell how honest I was. Biggest thing. Somebody told me this. If you don't know what you're saying, say, I don't know, but I'll get you the answer and get back to you. Never wing it. So I don't wing anything. So I found myself early in my career saying, yes, you know something? I would say, Jason, yes, great question. I'll get back to you. Yes, Jennifer, great question. I'll get back to you. Dalton, great. I was getting back to everybody because I didn't have any answers. But they respected me because I would follow through.
Gotcha. Well, you've been extremely generous with your time. Is there anything, what can we, the 60 of us on the call, what can we do for you? How can we help you?
Only thing I want for you is your success. Best thing you could do for me is take action from this call, pick what was helpful for you on this call, apply it, give me an email that, hey, this really worked, or Bob, I tried this and it really stunk. It wasn't good at all. I love feedback both ways. And let me know that you're going to keep trying and that you're moving forward and you're getting better every day. That way I'll feel like I'm contributing and that today was a good investment of my time. If you all said this was horrible, you got nothing from it, you wasted our time, then that to me was a failure of a day, and I won't do this again.
That's never even a possibility, Bob. You are always inspiring. And I think that's why we are so lucky to be part of the Lucido Global family. And I always say family, not team. It's been such a pleasure to have this time with you. If any of you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to Jennifer, Jason, or me. Or if you have direct questions for Bob, you could always reach out to Lauren. She's put the email over there in the text as well. So thank you. Thank you.
Can I say one thing?
You can say two.
Thank you for the kind words, Anjali. I was fortunate to be nominated for Icons of the Industry. I think that means like you're one of the oldest ones that have been around. So you were voted one of the top people in the area here out of 100 people. I think they picked like 13. So I'm mentally going through my mind like what they're going to ask me and so forth. And Bob, you have any inspiring words. So I'm going to give you the inspiring words that I have in my mind if they happen to ask me this question. Number one, be careful who you hang around with. Who do you surround yourself with? Pick your partners, pick your team members, pick your coaches, the people that are your inspiring figures in your life. Pick them very carefully. I've made some great decisions there and I've made some not so good decisions there, and they've cost me greatly millions of dollars, and they've made me millions of dollars on the flip side. So learn from me. I've made the mistake, number one. Number two, never stop believing in yourself. Never stop believing in yourself. You're going to continue to fail, and every day we fail in this business, and I fail and I get frustrated. Last 7 days, I told Tracy, I didn't go on that many listing appointments. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? So what did I do? I doubled down on my activities, and now I've got more appointments. So now I feel better. So second thing is never stop believing in yourself. And third, never stop growing and learning. The fact you're on this call and want to learn, this says a lot. Attend as many podcasts, books, everything you can. Keep a journal, keep notes, but most importantly is take those items and put them into action. You do those three things, you're going to be hosting one of these days, and people want to hear your success story as to what you're doing. And they're all very simple. So thank you, Lauren, for you and the team and what you're doing for the support of our agents. Thank you, Anjali, for being an awesome partner that makes me laugh more than anyone in Florida so far.
Hey.
My pleasure.
I love your state. I attended a semester of school there once, and I love Florida, and love your tax.
Look forward to seeing you next month in Florida.
We're going to be there.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Have a great.
If I may just think quickly, thank you, Anjali, and thank you, Monique, because without the two of you, this event wouldn't have happened. And we appreciate you very much, both with Lucido Global. Sorry,
I always do that. I meant to include Monique. Anjali, Monique, Lauren, thank you, ladies. And thank you for the invitation, everybody. And thank you, Dalton.
And thank you
Thanks,
all for
Bob.
joining.
Yeah, everybody hang on for 1 second, just for some housekeeping. I'm getting a lot of texts about a recording. I will send out the recording to everybody that's on our roster. I sent the link to add your name to the roster, and it looks like someone may have edited the format. So just send me an email with your email if you are not receiving things, and I will make sure that you have the email address for the Lucido group for follow-up questions, the links that Bob Lucido offered to share with us. So give me, 24 hours to compile all of the follow-up items, and just send me an email to make sure your name's on the list. We meet every 2 weeks. Let's Talk Luxury series. And we had a terrific speaker today. We look for great contributors. If you know of someone, send Anjali, Jason, or myself an email. We just want to be surrounded by industry experts and learn. And let's see what else I have here. Sending out the recording. So just make sure I have your email address. Anything else, Anjali, Jason?
Bob.
One last thing, 10 seconds.
Oh, sorry, I didn't interrupt him.
No, I'm done, but I forgot this. I always try to incorporate this into any time I speak to a group. It's that we're always looking for awesome talent. And this applies to you all as well of who you want to be. We look for 5 things. Integrity. Can you trust the person? Number 2, are they a team player? Number 3, are they coachable? 4, do they have the servant's heart? And number 5, do they have the tiger in the eye? Are they passionate? Do they really want it? And if they have all of them, but they're not passionate, we don't want them. We love them, but we don't want them because we don't want to push somebody across the finish line. Those are things that we're looking for. I encourage you all to embrace those 5 traits. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. See you in a fortnight, which is 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye, folks. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.